Sir Jeremy Wright.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And with your indulgence, I want to raise 3 points with the Leader of the House about the operation of the humble address agreed by the House on the 4th of February. And I do so, I make it clear, on behalf of the Intelligence and Security Committee. The first point I want to raise is to invite the Leader to confirm that no one within government has the right, under the terms of the humble address, to withhold or to deny or not disclose the existence of any document within scope of the humble address. The second point is that, as the Leader knows, the exemption set out in the humble address, which relates to the Intelligence and Security Committee, is around redactions that need to be made to protect either national security or international relations. Beyond that, the government produced a document to go along with the first disclosure of material on the 11th of March, which set out a number of grounds on which the government would also seek to redact information. And if you'll permit me, Mr. Speaker, I want to quote what those are. It mentions individuals' email addresses and phone numbers, the identities of junior civil servants, personal data of third parties where this is not in scope of the motion, and legal professional privilege. That document also makes reference to a small amount of Peter Mandelson's personal data, and then it says it may also be necessary for the government to make further redactions in future publications based on other public interest principles, including commercially sensitive information. And I invite the Leader to confirm that if the government intends to do that, it needs to come to this House in order to explain what those grounds for redaction will be, because they are not covered, I hope he will agree, by the terms of the humble address as it stands. And it's important that the House has the chance to validate the government's view that further redactions would be appropriate. And then thirdly, in relation to redactions on grounds other than national security or international relations, whereas he knows the committee I am part of is going through documents now to confirm that the redactions the government proposes to make are appropriate under those terms. No one, of course, is doing the same work in relation to redactions the government seeks to make for other reasons. Should they not be? And should there not be an opportunity for someone in this House to look at what is the unredacted version of those documents to confirm the redactions the government is seeking to make are appropriate?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And first of all, let me place on record our gratitude to the Intelligence and Security Committee for their time and consideration of the large number of documents that they are reviewing. Further documents have been gathered, and the government is working at pace to ensure that the ISC has all the relevant documentation as soon as possible. The Chief Secretary of the Prime Minister set out in the House on Tuesday, the 21st of April. He said that he committed to the House that we will release the further material shortly, subject to the processes ongoing with the Metropolitan Police, which I know the Right Honourable Gentleman understands, and also the Intelligence and Security Committee. And we will continue to keep members updated as we make progress. The Prime Minister has been very clear that he expects us to make quick progress, as quick progress as we possibly can. But as the Right Honourable Gentleman knows, there are literally mountains of documents to wade through. In terms of what the ISC was asked to do, I don't believe that that has fundamentally changed. In my view, which I've expressed in one of these sessions, Mr. Speaker, is that the government would be wise to get as much information out as quickly as possible and to do as little reduction as possible. The Right Honourable Gentleman raises an interesting question, however, about whether or not what the government has subsequently said, if I understand him correctly, has subsequently said about what they might or might not do. I want to go away and think about that, Mr. Speaker, because I think that is on what the Right Honourable Gentleman said, and I trust him absolutely on these matters. It does seem somewhat at odds. And were the government to change those terms, I'd expect them to come to this House and do so.